Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is Jiunn Liu. How you doing, Jiunn?
Good.
So today we are talking about the Kral Crna Nok Toro. Cigar is a 6-inch by 52 ring gauge. Comes out of the New Order of the Ages factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is Connecticut broadleaf. Binder is Mexican San Andres, and the filler is from Nicaragua, which is a mix of Esteli and Jalapa. Blended by Ristevsky, and price point is $12. And the release date of the cigar was August of 2016. So with all the cigar details out of the way, Jiunn, what was your pre-light experience like?
Um, I thought the wrapper had a dark chocolate Maduro shade wrapper. Things well pressed, seems tight. Bunch and roll felt firm with no soft spots and barely any give. The head finished off with a well-adhered triple cap. The nosy experience of the wrapper gave me sweet cedar and a little bit of a char. Foot smells of wet earth, wet wood, and just your generic natural tobacco sweetness, cold draw, cocoa, and dry nuttiness. So overall, very good.
Yeah, it was a dark rustic brown wrapper. Had some decent sized veins to it and a few water spots. The seams were easily visible due to some color variations with the wrapper, but they were smooth. Um, Three very well applied caps. Foot's covered with some excess wrapper that's folded over. The band is the standard JSK design, but for this line, it's a black and gold color concept. Aroma from wrapper was like a damp barnyard, or maybe like kind of like a farm after a rain or something like that. I didn't detect any really differentiating aromas from the foot, just most likely because the wrapper was folded over. Pre-light draw was like a light black tea and a little bit of woodiness, and I also got a little bit of a spicy tingle on my lips. So flavor-wise, what did you get from the cigar?
Um, I thought in general, first starting with the body and strength, it stayed somewhere between medium and medium full within the entire cigar, which was quite surprising for me because Rosé stuff usually makes me feel like weed high. So starting with the first third, I thought the first third was mainly comprised of, first and foremost, a very like a cream dark chocolate. So in addition to that, I got gritty earth, dry oak, dry wood bitterness, and mixed nuts. When I was retrohaling, that pepper really kicked in. Fierce black pepper, sweet creamy mixed nuts. Finish created a mouth-watering effect with flavors of oak, wood bitterness, and mixed nuts. Moving on to the second third. Second third, notable difference will be that cream dark chocolate transitioning more into a creamy oak. And I also got deeper notes of that mixed nuts. Still, I got the same levels of that gritty earth, dry oak, charred wood, bitterness, retro, still the same. Fierce black pepper and sweet and creamy mixed nuts. Finish also the same, mouth-watering notes of oak, wood, bitterness, mixed nuts. Moving on to the last third. The last third called for, thankfully, the return of that cream dark chocolate. And I still got the other flavors: gritty earth, dry oak, mixed nuts, dry wood bitterness, and all of that rounding out the profile. Retro Hill, still strong black pepper, sweet creamy mixed nuts. Finish still mouth-watering notes of that oak, wood bitterness, and mixed nuts. So in general, a very chocolatey cigar for the most part. And followed by some good depth of earthiness and fairly tame spice overall. Very surprising.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, the initial draws brought like a slightly spicy cedar along with a little bit of earthiness. And then a quarter inch in, the cedar and the earthiness kind of gave way to a dark general woodiness, while the retrohale had kind of moved into a very full cedar. 3/4 of an inch in, a light dry cocoa joined in with the dark woodiness. And the retrohale had also changed from the cedar to that dark general woodiness. As the third was coming to a close, that dark woodiness and that slight cocoa kind of remained there. And I was getting a little bit of like an effervescent sensation as well. And the strength level was just slightly below medium. And then second third, earthiness kind of came back to pair with the woodiness and the light cocoa. And then at a half inch in, that same combination of flavors remained, and the retrohale had gained a little bit of a creaminess to go along with the wood. At an inch in, the general woodiness kind of changed back to cedar to go along with the earthiness, and the cocoa had gone away. And then as the third was coming to a close, a little bit of a bitterness had joined in with that earthy cedar. And the strength was just slightly above medium at that point. And then getting the final third, kind of continued on with that earthy cedar and that slight bitterness. And then at a quarter inch in, a little bit of creaminess joined in with the earthy cedar and that slight bitterness. At an inch in, creaminess increased and was becoming a bit more apparent on the retrohale to go along with the cedar. And the cigar kind of maintained that creamy and that earthy cedar with the slight bitterness the rest of the way. And the strength had bumped up to medium full at that point. So performance-wise for burn and draw, what was your experience like?
Very good burn and perfect draw. Burn, total smoking time, smoked it for a little over 2 hours. Fantastic. Burn line was a little wavy at times, but it was really not a big issue. I never had to touch it up or relight it to any extent. Ash slightly flaky, averaging 1.5 inch solid increments. In the draw, like I was saying, perfect. I made a straight cut within that second layer of the cap, and that yielded the ideal draw for me.
Yeah, for me, the burn was pretty wavy the entire way, and I did touch it up once to keep things in line. But the ash held on in about 1.5 increments as well, so it was pretty good. The draw for me was perfect, just the right amount of resistance that I like, so nothing to complain about in regards to the draw. So overall, what are your thoughts on the cigar?
I found the cigar to be overall consistently good, especially with that cream dark chocolate forward note and a good surrounding cast of earthiness. But, knowing of what we smoked of Restay's Red Knight and the Connecticut Shade, I was expecting oily strength, like super oily cinnamon, really strong stuff. But still, I was expecting that paired with, a lot of Connecticut broadleaves that I taste, so that dankness and that chocolatiness and things of that nature. But I didn't get that. So, for me, in terms of strength, it never truly reached a consistent medium full, which was incredibly surprising, which is weird because, with Restay cigars, I always have to prep myself to smoke one of these cigars. It's almost like fear driven, right? But I like it when I smoke it, right? It's like you like the pain because it feels so good. Anyways, sounds like some sadistic stuff, but this didn't give me that, and I wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall for that cream dark chocolate note, I smoke it again. But this isn't one of my go-tos of Restay stuff.
Yeah, the cigar had a pretty common profile of earthiness and cedar most of the way. There were some times where there was a little bit of general woodiness that was present in that kind of the middle section of the cigar. Strength was medium and just slightly above that. It got to medium full in the final third, but definitely, like you said, nothing like the other two lines that he has. I was hoping for more from this cigar. I think kind of like you were stating. I think it's a decent Connecticut broadleaf, but I think there's others, especially some recent releases that shine more for this type of a profile. I'm definitely going to revisit this another Vitola. We also have the Robusto. But I think it's worth giving a try just to see if it kind of fits your profile if you're a Connecticut broadleaf fan. I did talk to Ristay a little bit about the cigar, and he did say that the Robusto is supposed to have a little more oomph to it than the Toro does. So we'll be interested to see if that actually pans out when we smoke it to see. So going into the scores, I gave it a 5.73. You gave it a 6.87. How do you think that matches up with your experience?
It matches. I mean, where that bump comes from is the great construction that I had. But overall, I thought it was somewhere between average good in terms of the flavor delivery. But no, that's within the expectations.
Yeah, my score matches up well. I mean, for me, it was an average cigar pretty much the entire way. It was helped out by the construction, but it's my least favorite of the three lines. So I go kind of Red Knight first, Latino Sans, which is the Connecticut Shade second, and then this cigar would kind of fall in third. But it was a bit of a different experience than what we were expecting with where he offers a bunch of strength but a bunch of flavor in a combination.
Mhm.
So this kind of was a drop down in both of those for me. So it was a drop off in flavor and it was a drop off in strength. So, but just because they both dropped down a little bit, it just didn't kind of make that same combination that we've come to expect from those other cigars. So for me, I'm gonna try it again, definitely in the Robusto to see how it is. But this one just kind of missed me a little bit. So, any other final thoughts from me on the cigar?
Um, Stay, I know you're one of the few people that actually watch these videos that are like manufacturers. But okay, that sounds bad. There's probably more people do it. Anyways, um, I would love for you to reblend this. Leave the chocolate note with the cigar. Give me the strength and power and the oiliness of your Connecticut shade. And give me the dankness out of Saka's Mikarita.
There you go.
That's homework for you. Please go do it. I want to version 2.0 with this cigar.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. If you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. And be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+. And check out all of our review recaps on podcast through iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next video.